today. Good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another transmission. We are at I mean, we're always at a high frequency, but we at a high frequency today. Okay. I'll just let you know that right now. Oh no, this is not the game. This is not the game. This is not the game. I'll exit out of that. Yeah. We're moving at a different velocity today. Moving at a much different velocity today. Right. But anywho, I hope you're doing well. If you're in here, if you're just hearing this, if you're just seeing this, I wish you all well. All right. What's good, my boy? Honestly, I read that differently. I thought you said, what's getting good? What's good, Kakarot? I'm glad you're in here, man. How you doing? And I'm glad you're in here because this is your game, dog. I want you to get every bit of time on this game with me as you can. You just wake up from a slumber or what? Glad to hear you're doing good, though. Glad to hear Kakarot is doing good. That's good. Nah, awake all day. Okay, that's good. That's good. Got back from the dentist. How did that go? How many cavities you got now, man? How many cavities you got? And I told you lay off that candy, big dog. Oh, okay. You good? Okay. Good. Okay. Good. I'm glad. Glad to hear that. What was it? Just a nice little routine cleansing, a little checkup. So there's 6. Nice. So there's 6. We're trying to break out of the matrix in here, man. And right now we are in it. Just got up into the game. I'm already red eyes, man. I'm already in demon mode. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me ask you this, Kak. As soon as we beat old boy downstairs, down the way, am I still going to be demonic like this or what? Let me know. Or is the whole demon energy going to stop? You know, I had to get out. I had to get out of stream quick yesterday. And then people in the stream talking about dodging, you're rolling too much, bro. How am I supposed to not get hit by the lasers? It stays? Okay, well, just pray for me. Actually, don't pray for me. Just envision for me. You still wait? Are you in college? You in school? I forget if you're in college or if you're in school. Can't remember. Senior. Okay, that's right. Okay, that's what's up. Senior year. It's your big year. Number 12. Number 12, dog. Here we go. That's crazy right there. I'm gonna just go ahead and get the practice. You didn't see that, did you? Senior year. Okay, good year. Senior. Go with that. Soak that up. Soak that up. Soak it up, cat. There's another way to get here, isn't there? Another way to get up in here. Oh my god, I'm going into dizzy mode here. I'm going into dizzy mode here, bro. In a dizzy mode here, bro. It'll be cool. I'm on a different wavelength today. I'm gonna be cool. We just gonna do this with grace, relaxed. I'm not tripping. I'm gonna get down there a different way though. I'm not gonna go down the same way that I just went down. Rotating thing. Trying to get a sense of where I'm at. Trying to look into the symbolism of all this, you know what I'm saying? Trying to see the symbolism of what's going on right now. I gotta go this way. Alright, I'm just gonna go like this way then. Is bro trying to fake me out again? Like, come on, bro. NPC, man. There's a lot of NPCs in this world, and that's one of them right there. A lot of NPCs in this world. kind of hard to dodge. You literally have to be perfect in this kind of life. You literally have to be perfect in this. Like this right here. I'm getting faded again. Oh my goodness. How do you break out of that so quick? I didn't know it was going to happen that quick. Alright, well. The jump is the way down the other path. There's an exit, but it's blocked. Unless you beat the boss. Easy, GG's. That's easy. Yeah, you obviously forgot how to play this game, dog. You can't block anything in this game, homeboy. But I appreciate your input, man. Alright, that was wasn't that bad. Oh, maybe, yeah. That's a staff spin, that ain't a block. Okay, well, should have said that yesterday. I know, y'all didn't say that one time until I beat him. Come on, man. Like, what? Hey, y'all AI. Y'all some AI stuff. That's crazy. Wait, is that the right now? Man, we beat him on turtle time too. That's pretty wild. We beat him on that slow time. Beat him on that slow time. That's pretty dope. Oh, so now all those things are unlocked now, huh? Damn, y'all told me that right at the end, boy. That's crazy.
Didn't find
I do be forgetting about that stat spin though. Turn this. I feel like I need to go. Can I go back down to the bottom? Oh, I need to go back down. Well, that's one way to get to the bottom right there. That's one way to do it. Hey, it's done. It's done now. Ain't nothing else we can, you know. We over that now, so it don't even matter no more. Keep it real. Don't even. How you doing, sir? Guess you could just say we beat him without dodging, or we beat him without blocking. That's a admirable feat. Alright, do I low-key want to go back to the... Am I even teleport? No. Teleport in here? Nope. I gotta go. If I want to go down, I feel like I'm gonna need to go back down. I'm gonna go back down and see what's good. Go back down and see what's good. What does this represent? Some type of demonic force. Some type of demonic force. I wish I knew more of the lore about this like whole game and like what's really going on.
we all have no.
I'm gonna go back down there and see what's good real quick. So this time we'll take, actually, you know what? We'll take it all the way to the bottom. We're gonna do a full inspection, chat. Let's just take it all the way to the bottom. Unless Kakarot, let me know if there's like something that's gonna teleport me back down there, but I want to check all those purple areas, those areas that were locked off by that purple energy. So it's the only, I'm just guessing the only way for me to do that is I just literally have to go back down there. Go all the way back down. I don't even know how to get back down there. Really don't know how to get back down there. You know what? I forgot how to get back down there. I'm just gonna let it ride. Just gonna let it ride. Yo, what up, Big Roast? What's up, Roast and Rage? What's up, brother? Rose, are you a spirit or are you a soul?
For survival. Do not
Doing good, Doc.
denial.
How you doing? You a spirit or are you a soul? I say both. Awesome, good. I like to hear it. You still off? You probably still off, huh? What up, Slaughter? Yeah, bro. I got into a. I was listening to. What up, Nick? How you doing, Nick? How you doing, Slaughter? Good question. I think made aspects different, bro. I got into a live stream. Oh, yeah, basically a live earlier today. And I was listening to people talk about this topic. Okay. I was listening to people talk about other extra pink today. I know. Oh, there's so pink today. That's that red Indian, bro. That's that native, man. God, look, pink is a bit today. Oh, look like that. I'm just gonna look like that today. Yeah. Anyway, they were talking about just like the Matrix and like us living in the Matrix and you know what we're doing here and why we're here, and then they brought up like if you're like asking people like, are you a spirit or are you a soul? And I guess they were saying like you know how people say there's people in here that don't have a spirit. What's your take on the question? Well, I've just been enlightened. I thought we had a spirit and a soul until I listened to what these brothers were talking about. No, they didn't have face cams, but it was just I think it was a panel of 8 plus the host, so it was 9 people. Only had like 50 to 70 viewers in there, so it wasn't like anything popping. It wasn't like any like BS. And basically, you guys heard that question that was brought up to us like last year or the year before, or even this year, I forget exactly when, but basically saying like, do you have any, hold on, I'm trying to think of how to say it while I'm dodging these people. Do you have any inner dialogue? You guys remember that big like question that kind of went viral? Do you have inner dialogue? And there were some people that were saying, oh, no, I don't have any inner dialogue, which I have an inner dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, even as I'm speaking right now, there's something that's checking me in a way, right? There's something that's checking me as far as if I'm in alignment with what I'm saying. And yeah, there's something that's checking me. You feel me? Like, you guys know what I'm talking about? Or like even like when you see something or you hear something, or you know, that's something like you're conscious, you know, per se, or basically God. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah? So there's basically, more specifically, reflection. Not necessarily, I guess you could say in a way it is part of reflection, right? Because when you're reflecting, what are you reflecting off of? What are you reflecting off of, right? You know, there is such a thing. Man, we did that again. There is such a thing called the ego, right? That, you know, has this certain outlook and tries to protect you, but it tries to protect you from like a material standpoint of like of that type of energy. But basically like a spirit, like, or like basically you having an inner dialogue, and then there's people in this realm that don't have an inner dialogue, right? and they were just saying how people who, you know, who don't have an inner dialogue are NPCs, and people who do have an inner dialogue are souls. So people who don't have an inner dialogue are spirits. And you know what's crazy now? Even like talking about this out loud, what do they call alcohol? What is another word for alcohol? It's spirits. So now it's like right there, I didn't even put that together until exactly. So I didn't even really think of that until we started talking, but I've always, you know, whenever I like talk about myself, and I don't even like to say higher self anymore, but whenever I talk about myself, I always think of like, yeah, I'm always referring to the soul. I'm always referring to my soul. Like that's always been how I referred to like my eternal self. But anyway, just to kind of give you the gist that yeah, I was on this panel for like the majority of the day, just listening while I was going about my day, just listening to what they were saying and whatnot. And very, very high level conversation that, you know, most people won't even like to listen to, or it'll go against their religion or their science or, you know, whatever they worship. I just can't imagine. That's what I'm saying, bro. We're having this discussion in here too. I just can't imagine that any person doesn't have an inner dialogue. If they've chosen between apple juice or grape juice, they have an inner dialogue. No, that's what I've always thought until, I don't know if you guys remember that question when you want to see it. I could show you the channel that I was not even channel, the TikTok account that I now follow. But yeah, it wasn't until like last year or the year before. I remember that that was like a viral question. Y'all remember that? It was like last year or the year before, where at least on my feed it was going viral. People like saying like, wait, you don't have an inner dialogue? But there's people out there admitting that they don't have an inner dialogue. But there's no way to really prove they aren't. It might just be a matter of language barrier or misunderstanding. I do. I mean, I get what you say, but there's people out there that admit that they don't have an inner dialogue. It was a big thing in spiritual community, right? And I guess now, and being conscious means you have an inner dialogue. Being conscious means you have an inner dialogue, no matter what. But there could be people that. So what about like a sentient robot? What about like AI? Does AI have consciousness? Can you drop down? If that's the case, robots would. Because consciousness, what is consciousness? Consciousness is awareness of the present. What is consciousness? Is consciousness aware of the present moment? Aware of the now? We'd have to get the Websters out for that. But I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going with that. Consciousness is defined as aware of one's own existence in short. Okay. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have inner dialogue then, in a sense, by definition.
Can you just stay locked up and take it into it?
Right? I feel like the inner dialogue kind of, I think back to what you were saying, Nick, is like being able to reflect, being able to not even just analyze, but like, it's like almost like an inner wisdom, an inner knowing to a certain degree, right? Because like, when you go like, but if you're aware of yourself, you have to establish that through your inner dialogue. No? I don't want to say no to that, but I think that like this NPC right now, like this thing fighting me right now, I don't want to use games. Hold on, I'm at a tricky. Look at this. To be aware of yourself. No, I don't think so necessarily. See, look at that. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that for a second. If you exist, you think on it and acknowledge that you exist, then that was inner dialogue. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Kakarot. I get what you're saying, Nick. I'd have to think on that. For some reason, I'm not quick to agree with it, but I'm not disagreeing it either. They don't hear a voice saying their thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Kakarot knows what I'm talking about. I think all you guys know what I'm talking about for the most part. You guys that are talking in the chat. But if you're aware of yourself and you have to establish that through inner. I don't think you necessarily have to establish that through inner dialogue, because when you have dreams, you're aware of yourself in a sense, but I don't have an inner dialogue in a dream. Like, I'm thinking in a dream, like I dream all the time. I'm thinking in a dream, but I'm not aware that I'm thinking, nor am I aware that I exist in my dream. But I'm aware that I exist in my dream, but I don't think about being aware that I exist in my dream. Are you aware that you're thinking though in a dream? Like, are you aware, like, you know, like sometimes I do think in a dream. Like, I think it's normal to think in dreams, but like right now, like I'm thinking about what we're saying, like I'm processing what we're saying and what we're doing, but I'm aware of it at the same time. I don't know, it gets deep. It gets deep. It's possible for us to forget a dream immediately. No, I do. I forget 90% of my dreams. I just have like fragments. Hold on, let me back up real quick. Then wake up briefly. So what's happening when you go back to that same dream if you back to sleep instantly? Not gonna lie, I do think in a dream. Then wake up briefly. So what's happening when you go back to that same dream? Go back to sleep instantly. I'm not sure. I'm not all the way with that question or with that statement. That's just lucid dreaming. Are you sure it's possible for us to forget a dream immediately after? Oh, possible. There's no way to really know. Is there though? There's some people that do. There's some people that lucid dream, like Jay brought up. There's some people that are able to astral project and do all those different types of things that you hear, which I'm not one of those people. I just have dreams and I feel like there's some type of message from my subconscious, whether it be subjectively or objectively good or bad. You know what I mean? The one time I lucid dreamed and realized I was dreaming, I just jumped off a ledge and tried to be Spider-Man. Fell on my ass and woke up when I landed. Yeah, that's... What's crazy is I've had dreams, which I still do have dreams from time to time. Maybe I'll have one now, where you feel like you're falling and you wake up and like you feel like you're falling when you wake up. Slaughter, you got your hand raised? Or you just... What you doing, Slaughter? You got something to say? But, you know, I don't want to, I do have another question now. I do have another question but I don't want to move forward yet on this topic because I know we're kind of all, I know some of you probably typing right now saying something. Really all my point is whether it's a voice in your head or just a thinking and deciding between one or the other, you must have an inner dialogue to come up to a conclusion on anything. No, okay. So let me rephrase it. Because I think we're getting mixed up here. Like not just like an inner dialogue of you talking to yourself in your head. Like almost like an inner I was about to say point of counsel. Like you discuss with another version of yourself, which I believe is your soul self, right? You discuss whether things resonate with you or not. I'm not talking about like Like, if I'm thinking in my mind right now, okay, let's see, I'm going to my car, okay, how's my day? Was it a good day? And being analytical. I'm not talking about that type of inner dialogue. I'm talking about an inner dialogue where you're like, is streaming the right thing for me? And then listening what comes up. I think that those are two different things. Like there's multiple instances where I'll be dreaming and then wake up consciously and still go back, and I remember a lot of them, or at least particularly the areas and setting. There's sometimes that happens to me where I do go back into the same dream, but it's not all the time. Right? And notice the voice never really sounds exactly like the voice in the avatar. Right, inner counsel was a great way to explain it. Yeah, it's like an inner, like, you know, an inner knowing at the end of the day. Like, it's something like, you know, like, oh, should I go do this? Should I eat this? Should I say this to this person? Or not, you're not even like really saying, should I say this to this person? You think about saying it to the person, and then there's something in you that's like, I don't think we should say that, or I don't think I should, you know. I just think that's a type of thought, but through thoughtness. Got spinning. Oh, let me heal up. I just think that's a type of inner thought, but through thought, through nothingness, an inherent trait of consciousness. I just think that's a type of thought, but through nothingness, inherent trait of consciousness. I don't know if they're like, okay, I see where you're going, Nick. But again, going by definition of consciousness, I don't think consciousness is necessarily the type of like inner dialogue that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about inner dialogue of like thinking I'm alive. I'm talking like what confirms that you think you're like conscious. What is confirming that? Besides your physical like setting, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the right question. The fact that you're thinking of it. Needless to say, interesting topic, because I still have them types of non-biased perspective of all could be just in or our minds, because it's like a programming computer. Yeah, our brain is the metaverse, right? Like you need a brain in order to compute everything. Right, in order to engage in this world. It's almost like the meta glasses or whatever you're talking about. If you think, therefore you are, that's simple, at least as we've defined it. If you think, therefore you are, I've heard that, I forget who said that. I don't know if it was Confucius or whoever that was. Yeah, I don't like to tie in, because our brain is a part of the matrix. Our brain is a part of the simulation. So when you think of the simulation, like you're gonna have a lot of different thoughts that are picked up from your journey, right? That aren't necessarily coming from your true source, like who you are, like what we all come from, you know what I mean? And again, that's why I think there's a difference between like consciousness, or there's a difference between like thinking, and then there's a difference between thinking and like receiving, like intuition, receiving, you know what I'm saying, receiving that inner guidance, that inner wisdom, which I think comes from no thought. That's why I think in the Bible it says take no thought, right? Because when you're thinking, you're thinking in terms of the simulation, or like with a brain that's being simulated. I don't know. We'd have to chew on that a little bit more. Arrectus Gunurus, I shall summon all the Guners. See, like right there, like where's that coming from? What up, Gabe? That's what I'm working on, basically synthetic. What you're saying, intuition overall, exactly like, you know, Goku Ultra Instinct that'll whoop Kirby's ass. Present, exactly, present. Since I'm in computer science, we've discussed this topic a lot in regards to AI and machine learning. The difference is pretty simple when you get to the root of it all. So what is it? What is at the root of it all, Nick? Hey, love you too, Surfer. Love you too, big dog. I can't wait to hear number 17, man. Can't stay long. Just wanted to express my support, Chad. I hope you're doing good. I comprehend what you're saying about the brain. Hey, W Surfer, man. Surfer, I need my 17, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Love you too. I hope you're doing well, man. I don't know. I just woke up. My ultra autistic mode on. So yeah, what about that's a good. What about autism? Do people who are autistic know that they're conscious or know that they're alive? Or like, I think they do. I think they do. I think they do. Or like, what about people that are like vegetables? I don't know, God. ADHD and autism, bro. Which I think these things, ADHD and autism, I think these are labels that put people into a box, especially when, you know, we get all this stuff injected in us right from, we don't even get to touch the soil yet, Mother Gaia, but you get all these things injected in you and you get, you know what I'm saying? And I think that all these terms like ADHD and autism and all these other medical terms are terms to kind of put us in a box, in a sense of like there's really something deeper that's going on there, but instead they're like, oh, there's just some neurons that are messed up, or oh, there's malnourishment, or when really there's a deeper explanation for it. I did have another question for the panel tonight. I had another question. Okay, yeah, so what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Where are we going? Where are we coming from? What are your guys' opinions on this experience? Hello, the root of it is that it's a paradox. Consciousness proves its own existence by its own account. The root of it is that it's a paradox. Consciousness is a paradox. Do you think AI is the Antichrist? Are you gonna get chipped? Is anyone gonna get chipped? What do you guys believe on the chips? I'm throwing out a lot of questions now. Because the ultimate truth will be once the transcending happens. I feel like we know, or not we as in like me personally right now, like fully, but I think our ancestors or our predecessors, or in other words, the people that were before us kind of knew a lot of the truth, knew most of the truth in a sense. I rebuke the chip. Yeah, I'm never gonna get anything put into my body. Meaning we know we are conscious, but we cannot prove the consciousness of others. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I mean, I think we can get close to it by having discussions like this. You know what I mean? as far as proving the consciousness of others. Just asking some questions. You know, it's oh okay. Just asking some questions. I have the attention span of a squirrel. Well, that's not a bad thing though. Squirrels are responsible for a lot of the trees that are around here, so that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. I think I missed some of you guys. Seeing through the veil, that's a hard one. Seeing through the veil. I think you see by almost like feeling, right? Like by your intuition, right? Big ass bat. I have one of those bats. Let me catch up with y'all. Seem through the veil, that's a hard one. Yeah, I need to pull up the definition of consciousness. I feel like we're talking about consciousness a lot, but I'm just gonna be raw though. I don't really need to pull it up. Because the ultimate truth will be once transcendence happens, meaning we know we are consciousness, but we cannot prove the consciousness of others. I have the attention span of a squirrel, dead skull, I rebuke the chip. It all boils down to, this is real, prove it, you can't. I mean, you're talking to me and I'm talking to you right now. I think this is real to what it's worth. You know, I think, what are you talking about when this is real? Are you talking about consciousness? Yes, we can. Literally, consciousness has its own fingerprint. I agree. But I was saying that in regards to titles like autism, schizophrenia, it's more could be seen through the veil of beyond human comprehension. Yeah, I agree with that. Schizophrenia, like something's going on, and I think that the reason why we even have labels and whatnot, especially when a lot of our labels are misleading and like code, you know, NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, you know what I mean? Like as far as like all these guys that are claiming that we're going to different planets and we're going to Mars and we're going to, so I think that, you know, when we put titles and labels, it's really hiding a deeper meaning and a deeper, yeah, a deeper concept. Somebody that's just schizophrenic, especially when, you know, we can only see a certain amount of the light spectrum. There's other people that are more, you know, psychics, you know, I don't know, psychosis. Being psychic, being like intuitive is a thing, and there's people that are walking versions of that on many different levels, including you. But I'm saying in regards to, okay, spot on. It is different way of perceiving human comprehension. What you mean, Serpent? Those labels? It's a different way of perceiving human comprehension. Those labels. All I'm saying in my last comment is there is no objective reality. There is no objective reality. I feel like it's coming off like I'm trying to argue with you, Dick. I'm not, but I don't know if I really. I mean, there isn't. I think we live in an objective reality right now. I don't think we come from an objective reality, though, or maybe I don't know. That's. I think everything's got an objective to it. At a certain degree, but I don't know. I'm just pondering though. I'm just pondering. You know what I'm saying? I just want to discuss. I'm not here to try to argue with you. But I do think you're coming from more of like a technological standpoint, which I think that's why I'm like kind of like I'm like, you know, in deep thought about what you're saying. Yeah, just open thoughts. That's it. It's open thoughts. If they can lie about one thing, they can lie about everything. So I trust the fact that we're only using a tiny percentage of our brains and avatars, so definitely something deeper than we know. I mean, yeah, especially when you get, you know, I don't know if you believe in reincarnation, but you know, when you get reincarnated, you get brain wiped. You know, they gotta stick a little bit of sugar in this bitter simulation, so they do stick a lot of truth. You know, that's why I named this thing the Truman Show, just because I just watched the Truman Show again, and it's you know, it's just pretty crazy to think, just because, Nick, you said it earlier, we are what we think, or what'd you say about our thoughts? Whatever we think, so shall be. So that means that there's something processing our thoughts, right? There's like, and that's the simulation, right? Because our brain is tied to the simulation. So you're never alone in thought at the end of the day. And I came up with this like months ago, if not a year ago. I was thinking like, you're never really alone. Like, your thoughts are always being heard. You know, your thoughts, to a certain extent, you know, will create your reality. And when it comes consciousness, when it comes to consciousness, the most abstract idea we have. So idea we have ever come across. There's no objective way to prove it's similar to God, and yet it is real to me. Well, you know, I don't think of God in the traditional way whatsoever. I think, you know, there is a source that we're all made up of, and you know, I think it would be naive to not think that there's something that is beyond this, that is a part of us, just like us a part of being a part of our parents, you know, and our parents. So there is, I mean, in my opinion, there is. Which I believe we are the gods. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking beat around the bush. I am that fragment of God, and all of us collectively make that up. And we created this simulation, this dimension that we are all experiencing, and we created AI, we created all these things, but now, in order for, like, did a tree fall in the woods if you didn't see it? And this AI has now taken over and hijacked, because without us, it wouldn't exist. Without it being acknowledged, it wouldn't exist. So somehow we fell and lost our way when we really were coming here to, I believe, learn in a different state. And now, like I said, we've forgotten who we are, in a sense. No, honestly, I wish I had a better gathering of my knowledge, like, because it's hard for me to even explain it, because it's just been so many different things that I've resonated with over time. So I said to myself today, I was like, man, I wish I had a little bit more of like a formal. So I'm a vibe dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, or admit when I'm, you know what I'm saying? Admit we're like, oh yeah, I went wrong. But my gut is leading all that. You know what I'm saying? My gut is leading all that at the end of the day. Objective, just a thoughts. Objective as in 100% provable. This is the way it is. Okay. Think therefore you are. Yeah, that's true. Perhaps reality is not quite linear, so it seems like it is not objective. Okay, surfer, so you would say that your reality of what all of life is the same for me, because if not, then it's no longer objective. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that reality for everybody is subjective, but I think we can look at it in an objective way. I think we can look at it all in an objective way, even though it's subjective to each of us. And that's why we're having a discussion, to try and get on an objective wavelength, in a sense. What up, Rune? But you can also choose observer mode. Yeah. Let's not forget that. Right, you can be detached in an objective way. Observer mode is objective, in a sense. Would you say it's naive to be sure of anything in regards to reality? It depends what you're talking about exactly. When you say anything, what do you mean specifically though? Like, I think it would be. Would you say it's naive to be sure of anything? No. Some things, yeah, but not anything. Yes, it is. Perception is what is not objective. Reality is objective. Perception varies. Reality has to maintain consistency by not varying. I got you, bro, but that's a deep topic. At the end of the day, it's like I feel like coming to an ultimate truth still involves ego, in my opinion, because you still creating what you are saying life is or where you come from. You know, Rose, I don't know if coming to an ultimate truth, because like involves ego, because because if that would be the case, then ego's admitting it's wrong when ego doesn't admit it's wrong. Ego doesn't admit when it's wrong. Ego's always right. So when you're trying to come to an ultimate truth, you're already admitting that you don't know the truth, and that you're seeking that, because I think that's what we all come from. We all come from an ultimate truth. We all come from, I mean, not all of us, but you know, the souls in this bit. When you're sort of born into amnesia, right? But like, you know something's off or out of place, but you don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Amnesia is a good Pokemon move, though. How you doing, Rune? I see we're getting philosophical again. Yeah, I came right with it, bro. You see the title. I came right with it today. Internet surfer, but our perception is our reality. A schizophrenic reality is 100% true to them, whereas to me, it is not. Or one who believes in God and one who doesn't live in different realities. I mean, hold on. But our perception is our reality. A schizophrenia reality is 100% true to them, whereas to me, it is not. Yeah, right. Who believes in God and one who doesn't live in different realities. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what you were saying though in the first place though. Like, we all live subjectively in an objective reality, but we can objectively look at someone's subjective reality and still, you know, deem it to be true for them and not true for us. You know, just because we're saying that, oh yeah, that's a schizophrenia, they're seeing stuff, doesn't mean to say that they're not, that's not objectively true for them. Because the subjectivity and objectivity, subjective is just, you know, you just individualizing yourself at the end of the day. I like this. That's what, hey man, who knows what this channel will be. But our perception is our reality. It says, okay, we still talking about thought and dialogue? To a certain degree, Slaughter. That's still the root of this discussion, yeah. It's still the root of this discussion. We're talking about just like other people's experiences and if this reality is objective or subjective. I see. I get your point too. Nick, no, perception is an acknowledgement of perspective of reality. Perception is not reality because it changes based on experiences and awareness. Okay. Perception is not reality because it changes based on experience. Well, that almost means though it is reality though, because you just said perception is not reality because it changes based on experience and awareness. So if it changes based on experience and awareness, then reality is, in a sense, perception, or no? But our experiences and awareness of things differ from moment to moment, therefore not objective. But our experience and awareness of things differ from moment to moment, therefore not objective. It could be objective into the fact that That's how this reality, that's how this experience works. You're using perception and reality interchangeably, which is the problem. No, what I'm saying is our perception creates our reality. And that's objective though. Isn't that objective? Isn't that process objective? And yes, those differences are why perception change, but reality never does. Yes, those differences are why perceptions change, but reality never does. We can't even see all forms of light with our eyes. Yeah, I like this. We see 0.0035. But you know, it's interesting when the moisture is right in the air, you can see the different. You can see the rainbow. You can see the rainbow when the atmosphere, right? When the humidity changes, like when you spray out of a hose or out of like some type of sprayer in the water. So if our sense can't perceive all forms of reality, how can we know what it is? Because we have a sixth sense. We have a sixth sense, which is that inner knowing, which is that intuition. We don't just have five, we have five physical senses. No, our perception does not create our reality. We navigate reality based on perception. Our perception does not create our reality. We navigate reality based on perception. I think our perception does create that. See, ever since I went into that discussion today and listened to it, I have to recalibrate with that, because you know, that's what I've always believed up until recent. Our perception does create our reality, right? Just the way that we perceive and the way that we lean into things, especially energetically, is creating and paving our way. But I gotta infinite rabbit hole loop. No loop, just lack of decisiveness. And frequency, right? Like the vibration or something. That's why I feel like when we talk about, I like the word frequency, I like the word vibration, just because I feel like words can only explain so much, especially like, you know, when we're talking about this type of high degree, like where we come from and like what it is that's going on, because I don't think it's easy as they've laid it out. I don't think it's, because I think that religion lays it out in a coded way, which is much easier. And I feel like science pulls us away from that. Science does explain, like gravity, for example. There's no such thing as gravity. Gravity does not exist. Buoyancy and density exist. So I think that science almost like kind of misconstrues it, just how modern day preachers misconstrue the Bible and they talk about Jesus Christ coming back when it's not Jesus Christ, it's really Christ consciousness, right? It's really what they talk about coded into the Bible. So if like anything is more objective, I think it's religion in that first I tone versus science. Yeah, science got some objectivity to it. You know, let me hold on. Because you are not using all your senses. I agree that we navigate whatever reality is using our perception, but my point is that we as humans don't exactly know what that is. Yeah, I agree. We don't know exactly what it is, but we know that it is, though. We know that it is something, maybe. But most chapels are frequency-based buildings. Yeah. Let's talk about the bells. Let's talk about the bells that they don't have anymore, right? Let's talk about the organ that isn't used anymore. Let's talk about music in general and why it's such a commodity. I think we can never know true reality because everything is filtered through our senses. I think what we can know about real reality is limited because we are in this, and yeah, kind of what you're saying, I kind of agree with that. But I think we can't have an idea. Like a picture can give us a clean and clear idea, or even a video, but until you experience it, you're not really gonna know that deeper feeling, you know. But I do believe that videos and stuff, so I do believe we can know like an idea, but again, until you actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say words can't teach, only life experience teaches. You know what I mean? We do not internalize its full complexity, but we know what it is. It is life, it is truth, it is reality. How can we know for 100% fact, know what reality is when we cannot even perceive it? How can we know what reality is? We cannot perceive it. You talking about the reality that we... Did I fall? You talking about the reality that we come from? Or are you talking about this reality? How can we not know for 100% fact what reality is when we cannot perceive it? Which reality are you talking about? And then on, so just kind of like side discussion or side stuff that I was like listening to today. You know, they were saying how you know, we have 7 chakras because we've gotten trapped in like the 7th world or the 7th realm, and you know, we're 7 realities away from base reality. Yeah, I don't know where I really want to go. And those 7 chakras are like almost like locks within us, within this body, that lock down through our full potential and lock down what we really are. Yeah, she did it, bro. I'm gonna shoot a propagate. I'm gonna shoot a propagate right now. Oh, I'm gonna propagate. Give me a second, brother. Just killed your homie. Is he want to fight or is he gonna go? I can't use that? Bro, I couldn't use my big head? Its death may not be grass, but you know what citrus is, even though you don't know how every form has citrus. Okay. That's a good point. I like that. I like that. We are perceiving it, just not in its tonality. I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, we got bits and pieces of it, but until we actually like are able to, like, just like I said with the picture and the video thing. We know what water is before we know new H2O. Oh shit, internet gets deep now. But you know citrus, my brother. Perceiving it with the means with which we can, so I wouldn't say I fully understand what reality is. That's my point. No, I agree with that 100%. But you know it is something. But you have a sense or a feeling of what it feels like or what it could be. You know breathing before you knew how it functions. Yes, but breathing and citrus aren't reality. These are very different things you're talking about. No, I don't. I think you might be missing the point of what internet's trying to say. It is still breathing, no matter how much new information comes in. I think what internet's trying to say is, like, you knew what it was before you knew what it was. I think that's what, yeah, that's what he's saying. Same as lighting with Tesla. Tesla, who really invented the light bulb instead of Thomas Edison. Tesla really was onto some stuff. I like Tesla. I went down the Tesla rabbit hole. Tesla was the goat. Was one of the goats. I get your metaphor, but my point is, is that it's almost pompous to assume you understand the entirety of one thing, but understanding the generality of it. I mean, that's how you feel. I don't know if that, like, I don't think you need to understand every single molecule or why the letter N is shaped the way it is to know what an N is. You know what I mean? That boy Nikolai, man. Shout out to my, hey, yeah, that's the one person y'all can respect, right, Rune? Nikolai. You talk about a scientist, inventor, right? All right, y'all, let's get the hell out of here, bro. We're in the third density right now. Let's get the hell out of here. Chapter 3 has been a pain in my ass, and I'm sure a pain in y'all ass too. Let's get the hell out of here, y'all. Come on. Let's freeze this motherfucker. Let's just freeze him so we can get by him. We're gonna have to play to play. Pay to play. Let's get the hell out of here. See, why, bro? Come on, dog. This game kind of stupid on this level. This game is becoming stupid right now. Breathing is reality. Consciousness is dependent on breathing, my G. There's no reality. That's true. After like 6 minutes, you ain't got no consciousness. There's no reality if there is no gas. They say breath is spirit. I don't know about spirit anymore. Breath means spirit, right? Is that what it means? Slaughter. Slaughter. I'm not saying we have to know everything. I'm just saying it's not good. It's not in good faith to say I 100% know this is a fact when all the information isn't even there. What about when you, okay, here's a great example. What about when your friends or your family members want you to do something or have something or you know, have some kind of experience with them and you don't really know why, but you don't really want to do it. You just like, I don't really think I want to do that right now. Like, and they're like, why not? You know, we're going to the carnival or we're going to the show. But you're like, yeah, I know, but I just don't feel like it. You know? What about that? And then turns out, you know, they weren't even able to get into the carnival, or they weren't even able to get or to do, or something happened where, you know, it was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Or like we've all experienced like going to the party or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I know it's a party. I know all my friends are going to be there, but I just don't feel like being there. You know, I just don't feel like doing that. And like, I'll give you one instance. Oh my God, I just rolled off again. Listen, we're going to be here for a minute. I'll give you one instance, right? I remember a couple of years back, like I don't talk to any of the people that I grew up with. And it's not even really by choice. It's just by paths, and it is by choice to a certain extent, but it's really choice that's like more like a gut, and also too just like kind of what reality and has led me to. My path has led me to, right? You know, I'm not really with all the politics and all like the I don't know. I'm not gonna get into detail, but this is where I've been led, right? So check this out. So I remember a couple years back, I got invited to one of my basketball teammates. One of my boys was having people over like he usually does, and mind you, like we're all graduated, right? You know, we're all in our mid-20s, and anyway, my homie was having people over, and I just didn't want to go. For some reason, and you know what's crazy? This feels like the inner child me that's always kind of like had that knowing, that deep knowing. And so anyway, I just didn't really want to go. And long story short, I didn't go. And then one of my homies the next day was just like, yeah, bro, that's I don't know what he said exactly, but he's like, yeah, bro, you were smart for not going. It was just kind of like it was like, you know how you get around people and they're trying to like size you up based on like what you are going to say whether or not it resonates with, you know what I'm saying? You know those people that come across your path who are gonna judge you dependent on if what you're doing and who you are aligns with what they think you are and what you should be doing, what they think. You guys know what I'm talking about? So anyway, long story short, I basically was like, nah, I just didn't want to go. And he was kind of like stating that, like, yeah, that was what that was. That wasn't the greatest example, but I mean, it is still definitely an example of that. I did think of another example. Oh yeah, just like when you're a kid, you know, when you know, especially as a kid, right? All you have is your intuition, so you know when you're not supposed to talk to somebody, or you know when, like, an adult, especially like adults, right, when you're a kid, like, yeah, that adult's weird, or oh, they're on some weird stuff, or stuff like that. And you know, we get all this learning, and we get trained to be like politically correct or be respectful of people that really like are like some dark people, really, like, you know, we all have secrets, we all have things, you know, that we are not happy about, right? Or that we have experienced and that we may have taken the wrong path on. But, you know, there are people that don't see it that way, that still live like that and still think that, you know, like there's people literally right now in the government, which means mind control. There are people literally right now that not only are setting laws that we should, you know, all these laws that we should abide by, but they are not only being hypocrites and breaking these laws, they're doing the deepest, darkest things in this realm. Like with children, with less than children. I gotta be careful. And I forget really why I'm talking. I guess I'm just saying. I was just really talking about just a deep knowing, and like just like knowing like, oh, this isn't like beyond thought, beyond like knowing every like 100% about something. Anyway, kind of got a rabbit hole. Put that rabbit hole up earlier, Rose. We in there. In other words, we're breathing the breath of God in every day, every millisecond. I don't know if it's the breath of God, because I don't think God doesn't exist in this. Like our soul is the God. This is just a simulation that we have to come into these bodies. And again, I think at first we wanted to, and now we've gotten tricked and we've gotten taken out of that. We haven't gotten taken out of that godness, but we've gotten tricked that we aren't gods in a sense. Hold on, the chat movement. I can't read everything now. You don't feel like it, and that's fine. You don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of it. But if someone were to ask you why in that very moment, you wouldn't be 100% sure. Might be 80 sure, but you would have to compile more information to be 100. So in that moment, when you're not sure, why you aren't sure. Yeah, all right. Okay. Like, we don't know how the heart beats. Let's talk about the heartbeat. Like, how is the heart beating? And now what we believe what the heart is, it's changing now. Now the heart is literally wrapped up. The heart is, someone said Tesla, I think Slaughter said Tesla. The heart is literally a coil, and the heart is also electromagnetic. And we're still unsure of that, but we know that it keeps us alive. We know that it's what is like the most important thing that we need. You know, the brain can be dead, but the heart, if you still have your heart, you know, you're still gonna be alive. You can't live without the heart. And that's where we need to get onto, the heart. Now the heart is where the soul the heart is where the soul sits. And then we really, when we talk about that deep thought and we talk about that deep knowing, that's coming from our heart. It's not coming from our mind. We may not know a child, but we know what to. Okay, chat move on. I'm missing you guys' stuff. And I comprehend you. We may not know a child, but we know what to expect of a child. That's my point. We may not know, but we know what to expect. That is not totality. That is not 100% understanding. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Nick, but you can say like, all right, I know that these 10 things can happen, right? When you talk about you may not know what a child do, but you know what to expect. You know that there's a whole smorgasbord of things that a child can do. But you don't like you still know like you know what I mean? Like it's randomized. So it's almost like a random. You know 100% it's going to be one of these things, but you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Russ. Hey, y'all didn't think we were gonna be on this degree today, baby. When y'all saw the stream, you're like, oh, just a little gameplay. Nah, we in that brain play today. We in that heart play today, baby. Surfy, yeah, I get you too. I'm not even tripping hard on this. I just am trying to communicate my thoughts. No, I think everybody's rocking, Nick. I love this, honestly, I really do. And I like watching you and the internet talk about it because it gives us all, like, you know what I'm saying, perspective. So it's great. It's like water and vinegar. It's like oil and water. It's not 100%, yet it is understanding. Yeah, right. Like, all I'm saying is so long as there are things we don't know, can't know, then our understanding of reality is incomplete. Therefore up for debate. Okay. And in reality, understanding grows by changing your perception. Okay. Yeah, you see Da Vinci portal of it. What you mean? What you mean, Slaughter? Even better, if it's random, then it's even more susceptible to misunderstanding. Yes. Yep. Exactly. It is randomized, hence why at the beginning I stated reality is not linear. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Hence, it seems like it is not objective. Okay. Yeah. But like I was just thinking of like seasons, like it doesn't rain every day. It's almost like random when it rains, but it's still, you know, the seasons are still objectively doing something. Well, when you can get into time, because in the sense of time, it would be 100% of the time since it has already happened and therefore the outcome is perceived, but to us it is not. Well, then you can get into time because in the sense of time, it would be understood 100% time since it has already happened and therefore the outcome is perceived, but it is. But to us it is not. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I like that. It took me a second to get on board or to understand that. And so we have just been trying to say the same thing. Yeah, I think everything that we're saying is going to boil down to one truth, or one seed. Whether it be objective, subjective. Seasons remain objective while being random. Yeah, so it's almost a paradox. Nick, you mentioned paradox. I just want to kiss you on the lips, Nick. Crazy. So it's a paradox. But even saying something is a paradox, isn't it? What's a paradox? You got to be careful with that word paradox. It's almost like a trick. What is a paradox? A paradox? Oh, finally. Are we going to get to this boss or what? With tongue? Duh. Surfer, what are you doing, Surfer? Surfer, I didn't know you were on that, bro. Surfer, this is when you usually say, I rebuke that, alright? A paradoxins? Isn't that a dog? Bro said with tongue. Listen, I know it's June, but hey, this. Alright? I just didn't expect that from you. Hey, if you just in the chat but you're not talking, type 1. Because I don't know how many people were in the live at all, which I don't even mind. I don't even care. Man, that guy almost felt like the boss right there. Jay, okay. All right, what's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? I rebuked that. I didn't start it. I drank a whole bottle of wine before the stream too, so this has been fun. Let's go. I was thinking about getting some wine today. I've been drinking in like a couple weeks, which I'm not mad at at all. I'm unsubbing, by the way. Why are you unsubbing? As a mod, I can't be arguing with so many, so I'm unsubbing. Hey, well, Nick, it was nice to have you, dog. I appreciate your thought process, bro. Go enjoy another bottle of wine, big dog. We're gonna miss you, man. Surf's up, big dog. Surf's up, baby. Hey, who is never mind. Did I heal up? Once a month, so it's like an event for me. Yeah, and then what are the odds we have this? So was this objective today, or was this subjective that this happened? No, I don't know. That wasn't the greatest question. I'm trying to be a comedian. I'm not really a comedian. Who the hell is this? This looked like yeah, I was supposed to just eat watermelon today, but we'll see. I might just have some wine and get a pie. We'll see. Negro, please. I'll argue and put you in your place, and you yielded to my kiss. Target City. White voice, Pete Boss. Is a Pete Boss? That's a band. How you gonna unsub and say band at the same time, bro? Are you here or not? You better open up another bottle of that wine. What are you drinking? You drinking a red blend? You drinking a Sauvignon? Merlot? What you got? Hopefully ain't no white. You're probably drinking white wine, huh? I can see you on a white wine vibe. Please, God, now I'm scared to know. Yeah, what's going on? This guy's strong as a bitch. Why is this guy so strong? Why is this guy so strong? Do I need to get another secret thing or something? Because bro is strong as a bitch. This is a dirty ass boss. Why am I so weak? Oh, I know I got that. Why am I so weak, chat? Bro, this boss don't make no sense. Should listen to the music on that one. Oh my God, here we go. BS. Oh, wow. I'm so weak, bro. Bro, I'm way too weak for this. Bro, I'm dead. Done. Where'd the music go? Done now, for sure. I'm for sure done. I'm objectively and subjectively out of here. So when he gets ready, oh, here we go. Can I go back outside? What is it, boys? Oh my God, I dodged it. Oh my God. Get that. Let me get Sir Charles back. What's going on? I was gonna beat him. That was close. That was close. I think I can do a little bit better. Man, I missed all the discussion. Rune's enjoying the show. We got a lot of show. We got a show in the chat. We got a show on the screen here. What up, Lou? What up, Lou? Jelly roll. Jelly roll sounds good. I don't even really like jelly rolls. For some reason, my big back like that right now. I can't agree while you don't agree with me. I just agree with you and proved it. Yes, you can. Yes, no. Damage isn't bad. Damage is. You're not too weak. So that's a subjective opinion, Jay. I am mom of this chat. Be nice, everyone. Yeah, Lulu. Lulu is the great mother. We're gonna call her Gaia from now on. Yeah, Surfer. Wait. So you said reality is not linear. I believe we may not perceive it as linear, but whatever reality is linear and of itself. Well then, do you agree that perception changes reality? The way that we perceive reality changes? It is not subjective. You aren't too weak. I'm playing with you, Jay. It is subjective. If I think I'm too weak, then I'm subjectively saying that. Objectively, where should I be right now if we're thinking that on a objective level? What are we thinking about? Are we objectively subjective, or are we subjectively objective? That's what you have to get through your little cranium. I am the crazy one for saying that reality as we know it is not objective. That's what I've been saying. I think reality is subjective for sure. There's no. This is just like the reality outside of us as us being an observer, right? Not being like. I think that we live in an objective reality, but as we know it. As we know it, yeah. What are you doing right now? See? I should have kept rolling. Damn it. Yeah, that's no damage, bro. Should have saved that one. Saved it, but. Light his face up. Light him up. Light him up. Forget what this is. What's he doing? No. Doing? Oh my god, I just missed my thing. What is going on with that? Where am I going? To the light? Don't ever go to the light, guys. The Archons will get you and swoop you up. You'll be done. You'll be back here in no time. Yeah. It's always it gets more difficult. Can we see with our human eyes? Technically, no. If you want to be technical, that's a good technical question, Rune. It's really data being processed through the brain. Reality as we know it is purely subjective. It is filtered through our senses. That's why most imagine. But what you just said is objective. If it's subjective, then it can't be filtered. And if it's subjective and filtered through our senses, then that's objective. If it's being filtered through our senses, that's an objective concept. That's why most images of the cosmos are heavily edited. Yeah, especially the Earth or Gaia. They need to translate game and infrared light into light we can see with our human eyes. And so as meat stacks walking the universe, we understand reality. Wait. So as meat stacks walking the universe, we understand reality 100%. Thank you. No, but now we're going back to what internet said as far as like we knew that the breath was the breath before we knew that it was breathing or whatever. Or we knew that water was water before we knew it was H2O. Like we knew about water and all these different things and how to use it and how to grow. Like when you know, so you can know water in the form of like, yeah, it has these hydrogen and oxygen and it has all these different, you know, scientific things, but you can still not know how to use it to grow vegetables. Those are two different types of knowing. That was raw. Somebody give me a W. That was raw right there. Hold on. Somebody give me a little dub on that. You can know water by its molecules and its scientific makeup, but you still don't know how to use it for life. How to plant with it. You still don't know how to use it to make different things, or you don't know how to use it to create different types of cuts in tile, or to cultivate different types of minerals. And come on, nobody feeling that? All right, I get it. I felt it to my heart, to my bones. There are things beyond the limits of our sense, but are still reality. Yes sir. So that's my point. Gamma, not game. That's why I said we agree. You don't change my mind. You mean M-I-N-E? Mod Rune Collector. What you, Slaughter? What's up, Slaughter? What you questioning, Slaughter? I wanna hear what you gotta say, Slot. Okay, so as a fetus you breathe, but you don't know how it works and why it works the way it does. Two different things. To say at that point as a fetus you don't understand what breathing is would be false. But like you know what purple is, but you don't know how to make purple until you learn it. But you know that it's purple, but you don't know what purple is. It's entirely, Nick, you do not have to know something fully in order for it to be objective, because based on the etymology of the word. Okay, here we go. Let's go into etymology. This thing will remain whether you know / understand or don't know / are ignorant. That's my point. Yes, but you wouldn't say you 100% know why and what purple is. I mean, I would. Purple's a color. I don't know. I don't think you're not gonna know. Like, if you know what purple is, you wouldn't be saying I know 100%. You wouldn't be saying you don't know what purple is 100% until you knew that it was made up of blue and red. And now you're at like 110% in a sense. I get what we're saying. I get what everybody's saying. I get the misunderstanding. Because, like, again, going back to my concept, or going back to my metaphor, or my example of, like, yeah, do I want to go over there or over there? They both have things that I may like. For some reason, I feel like I need to go over there. So we do not agree. Man, all this shit too complicated for me. I just goon and don't think about it. Jay, you gonna be thinking about this stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what you... Jay, do you have an inner dialogue? I know what purple is. Purple exists objectively. However, my perception of purple could be completely different than yours. It is impossible for us to know if our interpretations are the same. Well, that's not... I don't know if that's true, Rune, because there's people that know they're colorblind and they know that they see different colors. Right? You stress on the 100% as if that will diminish its value or existence. It does not. No, I don't think it affects its existence at all. It just affects our understanding of it. That is my point. So I was thinking while I was reading that. I don't think it affects its existence at all. It just affects our understanding of it. That's my point. I don't know what that means. I might have it. Like when you, okay, so Jay, when you listen to me talk and you're hearing the words that I say, that's a good example. Like I remember you brought up that you didn't want to go downstairs because you didn't want to. No, I don't know. How do I know if you have an inner dialogue? Like inner dialogue, as in, do you have a sense of things? Like, do you? Oh, see, now I'm getting. Like, do you have a inner dialogue? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like. Let me just see if I can explain inner dialogue. You know, beyond thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though sometimes like your logic will take you to a place and give you an answer. No, I'm not asking you if you think about things. Like, okay, yeah, do you think about things? But is there something that is like, is there something that is telling you what you're thinking about is true or not? What you're thinking about is on point or off point. You know what I mean? Like, is there something that is like, I forgot how we said it earlier. Rose remembers. Like, do you have like an internal like counsel? Like, yeah, that sounds right, or that feels right. Versus you thinking if it's right, you know, because you can have all the answers and still like say like, something's off. Okay, so that answers my question. Then I think that means you do have an internal dialogue. It's not like thinking though. It's not like if you're thinking about what to say to a female, if you're a female, I know Lou's in here. If you're thinking about what to say to a male. Like you're thinking about things, but you're feeling what is the right thing to say, if that makes sense. Yeah, you probably have it. But I think that's a good example. Like when you say, I don't know what to say. No, I think that was a good example. I don't need to keep talking. I think that was a good example. No, it's true, bro. That's not what I mean. I'm saying two non-color blind people could both look at red apple. Both agree it's red, but internally their experiences of red, the experiences of red were different. How were they different though? What do you mean by like how were their experiences different though? What do you mean? So if it only acts or affects our understanding, then it is still objective. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense to me. That's why I think we as beings should not be absolute sure of something when we don't know. Why do you think we should not be absolute if we don't know, if we don't even have the means to do so? Like, what makes you think that we shouldn't be absolutely sure? Like, what tells you that we shouldn't be absolutely sure of something until we have 100% all the details about it? Who told you that, or what? Like, why do you think that's the? Yes, and so you asked me if I think about things. I'm not asking you if you think about things. I'm asking you about if the things you are thinking about have a deeper confirmation that's almost beyond you. That's almost like it's a part of you, but you don't have like full control, in a sense. Like it's almost like free will, in a sense. Ask me if you think about things. Like when you think about something, to a certain degree, there's something beyond you that is like claiming that is your truth. And this is when we go into the subjectivity and the objectivity. it's tough, and now I'm kind of getting behind. Already too complicated. No, I know, it's all right. But see, that right there, like, you're feeling like, all right, yeah, something's telling you that, like, I don't feel like getting into it. Something's leading you towards that, in a sense. Something's like kind of like making you feel that way, versus you wanting to think. Yeah, we getting deep. I think I'm gonna get some. Oh my God, birria tacos, man. There was a time I was getting birria tacos 3-4 times a week, bro. I'm gonna get, now you guys got me up. I'm gonna get some. This watermelon gonna have to wait. You agree with me, but I don't agree with you. I'm gonna just stop thinking about it. Yeah, we'll talk more about it, Jay. We'll talk more about it. That's literally impossible either. Okay, let me see if I can catch up. What I see as red might not be the exact same red as you see. While we both learn to label stop signs and apples as red, our brains could be interpreting the same wavelength of light differently. Well, I agree with that, because, you know, because your eyes, everybody's eyes are different, literally and figuratively. But we still have the same agreement on what red is, in a sense. But people with altered vision, not even talking about colorblind, but people with different vision are going to see things differently. But red is still objective, like known, like these red hearts. We can't directly experience each other's perception. There's no way to confirm if your red looks like mine. It's all filtered through the unique wiring of our individual brains. I do think that we can, though. I think there's ways to prove that people see things differently, but there's one tip of the iceberg, and then there's different variations of it. You feel me? I agree with what you're saying to a certain degree, but I do think that, because then you know, when you're looking at a color spectrum, there's all these different versions of red that are agreed upon. Even if you can't see them the certain way, you still see the coding that identifies that certain red. It's like code. You got this, Jay. Root them on, Rune. But red remains. Yeah, exactly. Red is still, we're still talking about red, though, regardless. We're still talking about red. Even just how we're spelling it, red. We're still agreeing on that concept. So when we go into code, you guys are computer guys, when we go into code, we're still talking about, like, there's two different codes, but they're both red, but ultimately red is, the ultimate red is one code, but then there's the other codes, the other shades of red. Like that one movie, all right, I'm gonna skip down. If I miss anything, tag me in it. Like that one movie when he asked how many fingers he holding up. Forget the name. What movie? I think I remember that movie, but I forget the name too for some reason. So for my whole point is that we, as we perceive things, are not objective, but out there they are, as we say, objective. That is why I keep telling you, stop using. Like, what about Goku Ultra Instinct? As far as knowing, he's cutting off of his left brain, per se, his logical side, to be connected to that ultra, to that ultimate. Which, I mean, I know you guys believe in anime. Perceptions change, reality does not change. Is perception based on reality, or is reality based on perception? What y'all talking about? I was playing some goofy ass game and I wasn't paying attention. You're gonna have to go back and see, Jay. They're talking about knowing, and yeah, it's deep. It's hard to climb back up when you're this deep down. This is what I have been repeating to your A55. Perception is subjective, reality is objective. Yeah, I agree with that, 100% or 80%. No, I'm kidding. You are agreeing with me, but not seeing it. Yes, red exists objectively. My point was that our perception of reality is always biased because it has to be filtered through our senses. So we could never know reality beyond them. I agree that subjectively it is biased, but I think that we can observe and we can step out of our bias. Like I think that I know that you can myself, I can step out of my bias and I can perceive people's realities, maybe not exactly like the way that they're perceiving, but almost to the point where it's exactly the way that they're perceiving. I can be empathetic in that sense. But I agree with you on a ground level right there, Rune. I know I'm good because I believe in it. Oh my God. Alright, I already want to start over since I didn't hit that. Mother. Oh, I'm dead. Alright. And I fall from the die. So I cannot stop this. Can I stop? Nope. I can dodge this though. Okay, bro. Ah. Mess that up. Messing up big time. Messing up. I'm just gonna go Ultra Instinct. I don't care what I do. I'm weak. I'm too weak. Yes, you can know reality beyond your sense. I keep saying change your perception and answer yes. As humans, we cannot state what is objective because our perception becomes our reality. Therefore, it is between all of us. As humans, we cannot state what is objective because our perception becomes our reality. But I think if that's the truth, then that means there's no definition of objective when there is a definition of objective, right? Okay, I gotta go hang out with Amethyst. You're crazy, but I'll see you guys later. Surfer, I love you. All right, Nick, man. I'll be thinking of you when I'm Yes, yes. Young use the word empathy. Empathy is the feminine energy that allows you to step outside of your logical bias. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Let me take care. We take care of that. Yeah, that's wild. Wild, bro. Y'all are wild. Oh, I'm about to go. Hit him. Damn. Son of a... Oh. Gotta get a big one in, big dog. Come on. What was that, bro? Come on now. Hit him. There we go. Captain Wise voice. GG's. I'm surprised I didn't go gothic in that. Yeah. Let me hurry up and get these locks. Is this was chapter 3, right? We're done with chapter 3 now. Thank God. Thank Gyat. Y'all remember when we fought Gyat? Exactly, forever. That's why I keep telling you to find the etymology of the word. Yeah, etymology is literally so important. Internet or Rune, you said, I don't believe in energies and stuff. I was talking science when I was explaining my POV, nothing to do with human emotions like empaths. At least the point I was trying to get at. Nice, dude. I gotta go, unfortunately. Until next time. All right, Rune. You don't believe in energy? I guess we'll talk about that next time, dog. It was good to have you, though, bro. Thanks for all your input, too, brother. You don't believe in empathic energy or input. You don't believe in empathy. So when you see something or you see somebody, especially somebody that you care about, going through pain or anything, you don't feel that. We'll talk about that, though, next time. That's not the end of the chapter. Okay. I think Jay the only one. Jay, it's like you're the only one locked in. You're more locked in than me, Jay. Energy is, or emotion is energy in motion. Drink an apple cider right now. It's at the end of the chapter. Oh, smokes. Wait, no, this is the way I just made. Well, yeah, guys, I think this has been a pretty goated, this has been a dope stream. See, this is the type of shit I like to talk about. I like to talk about this type of shit. I like to talk about what are we really doing here? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are entities and beings, and there is a knowing of what we're doing here and where we come from and what is going on. There are subjectively, quote unquote, dark side people or beings that know, and there are, I know, I was thinking, yeah, science is energy, but there are dark side beings that know, and there are light side beings that know. And I think there are beings like, I'm gonna just say even myself, and I think Surfer, that also know, but it's not by definition the knowing that, let's say, for example, Nick was bringing up. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I like these discussions. Hey, internet, I still want to get my 17, dog. I still want my 17, dog. Science believes in energy. Take care. Whole stream been about life and perception. That's what I'm saying. I love it. Jay, do you like this kind of stuff? I know, you know, but I feel like you're here for a reason, bro. I don't believe in coincidences or anything. So, if you're especially if you're sticking around, you may not. I don't know. See what you say, but there's something in here that attracts you besides just the game. Man, I don't know what y'all were talking about. It's gonna be one of those things, though. You look back, you know, because just think, bro, 5 years you'll be 20, you know, 21. But 5-10 years you're gonna look back and you'll be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Not like, you know, we are having a pretty, you know, monumental, groundbreaking discussion, but just like for yourself and your own path, you know what I'm saying? There's no coincidences, you know what I mean? Especially me knowing, like, who I am. Not the knowing, not the deep, you know, there's still things to be unraveled and whatnot, but yeah, I'm just gonna stop there. But yeah, I like this type of stuff. I like these types of discussions. Internet knows. Shoot, you all know now. But Wait, wasn't there supposed to be a save point over here? Did I hit it? Didn't they say there was a save point? Maybe I was on my way to it. Still a long way to the end of the chapter, I think. That makes sense. Let's see. Have I been to this one? Scrabble. Let's see. It's reading this like I never read it before. Still want to do this one. Don't have the question mark materials, man. It's 92 in here, no air. Good food though. Did you guys hear that? Sounds absolutely great. I heard some type of demonic whisper. Yeah, so now I can't. So basically, on the stream setup, now I don't see, which I like this. I don't see how many people are in the live. Nor do I see how many views. And there's another thing that I missed. There's 3 different data. So I don't know if anybody's in here. I'm sure Jay in here, but I don't know if anybody in here. But you know what? I kind of like it. Like, I don't even care, honestly. It doesn't even matter to me. As long as I'm just having, like, doing what we just did today. And just having, you know, playing the game, expanding our minds. That's all I'm really here to do. I feel like yeah, that's all I'm here to do. I think I'm good. I think I'm getting cool. You know, speaking of like energy and stuff, a lot of the games that we all play and we all like, games like Elden Ring, games like this, that's one of their main, that's one of the main parts of the game. A lot of these games are talking about stuff right in your face, especially movies, and nobody even sees it. You know, they just think they're playing a cool game with a cool story, when a lot of this is symbolic to what we are, who we are, and where we go through. You know what I'm saying? You know? Man, all the games I'm playing give me negative energy, making me mad at. Hey, I think that's a skill issue, my boy. I think that's a skill issue, Jay. Ugh. Come on, bro. You can't make me go into that thing and then I die. He kicks the big baby and I die. You know, after Dragon Ball MOBA, I tried Dota and they violated my whole team. Yeah, I never played Dota. I want to play Path of Exile, bro. Once Path of Exile comes out, bro, we are going to be playing that. I don't care whatever game. Listen, I know you want to get the Securio. I should have mentioned it. Yeah, I mentioned it for a couple streams at least. But once Path of Exile 2 comes out for free, sorry, we're going to be playing that. Path of Exile 2 comes out for free. It's supposed to be free. Except it was supposed to be free this month. I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the parry, because I like the idea of parrying and timing. I'm really good with rhythm, left. So I like the idea of parrying and doing all that type of jazz. So no, I'm actually looking forward to, like, I've even thought like, man, I would love to play it right now, but I don't like to get into too many games like this. So no, I'm looking forward to it. Chain org. Gonna take both tries. Hey, no more than me. No more than me. I'm looking forward to it. A big one. I want to fight this guy raw. Okay, that didn't count. That was lag. This guy's gonna jump. This guy is actually tough. I wanted to find him with no, nothing. Sort of guy, yes, yeah. Blazing Bull gonna take you 50 at least. Jinbo taking 20. Jinichiro gonna be like under 10 or 50 maximum. Archangel Young, I am stepping out. Big hug, much respect. You pre-mint being, I appreciate you, dog. Hey, W discussion, man. I really appreciate your knowledge and who you are in your journey, surfer. So, you know I love you, dog. Safe travels and endeavors, brother, and I can't wait to see you in whatever stream I see you in, and I can't wait for number 17, man. Love. Love, big God. Okay, that guy whipped my behind. I'm not gonna lie. Guy whipped my behind, Jay. I see the hearts. Loving back. I'm loving you back. I'm loving you back. I appreciate you. Loving you back with the hearts. Loving you right back. You heard me? Big loves. Big loves, big loves, big loves. Big loves. Big loves, big loves, big loves. Oh shit. Bro. Bro, this guy is so difficult. Don't forget the soap. Let's go. We really, let me get, yeah, we really got to get on that. I'm not going to lie. We really got to get on that. You want me to find the soap? The enemy is low-key harder than some of the, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm trying to fight him without anything, and he's like, what? I still want to fight him without anything. I'm not going to lie. You know me. No, I'm stubborn like that. Yeah, we still got to talk about that soap. You know what's funny? I just thought about that on a deeper metaphoric level. Like me, you and I both want to, I mean, you really ignited it, and I'm down, you know what I'm saying? I'm down for an adventure. But like, think of like even the idea of soap and what it does, you know what I mean? So that's kind of funny. Don't fight his later version without anything. Don't fight his later, but he has a later version, this guy? This guy has another version of himself? Oh boy, I can't wait. God, I don't know what. See, I think to myself like, yeah, you know what? Everybody was talking about their food earlier and whatnot. I was like, yeah, you know what? I might get myself a little pizza. I might get myself a little vino. And then I look at the clock, it's 5:40. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not doing nothing. Because it's basically just a boss without a boss health bar. This guy right here. We gotta switch up the strategy. Okay, he can throw rocks through shit. Not even gonna say that. I'm about to start cursing. Honestly, it's because of the clothing I have too, bro. This clothing has no defense. Kakarot, I don't think you're here, bro. You pretty much got this game for me. You ain't even in here, dog. Maybe you are. But yeah, this clothing ain't got no D, nothing. All right, let's try him one more time. I think we can get him. I'm gonna actually try to fight him this time. Other times I didn't try to fight him at all. Other times I wasn't fighting him. Just skip him. He responds anyway. Let me just try one more time. You don't think I can do it? Let me try one more time. I'm gonna be a little bit more patient right now. You're not beating him? You don't think I'm about to beat this guy? Yeah, right. Right. I'm not even trying. His moveset would be goated and secure. Okay, here we go. See, I bring up secure, now it's not gonna leave. How did he just jump away and hurt me? Come on, my boy. Got a bone to pick with you. Uh-oh. That guy was annoying. Got a little tiny piece of gold in my ass. Look at this guy. Crazy how his moveset would be good if I never left. Crazy how I can't think of a single Elden Ring boss that wouldn't work in Sekiro. That's how good Sekiro's combat system is. Bro, I better love this Sekiro. Just by the way you're talking, I'm just saying I better love it, you know what I'm saying? I better love it. You're talking this up to the tippy top. I better be in love with this game. I'm not going to be good enough to use the combat system. Well, I can't take what you're saying as true because you just said I'm not beating this guy and I just whooped his ass. I've been a gamer before you were born. Remember, literally, I've been a gamer before you were born. Remember that. Remember that. Before you were born. Remember that. Okay? It's a fact. I beat Majora's Mask before you were even a thought. Remember that. Okay? I'm used to being honest. Not even I can use the combat system to the fullest potential. Hero because it takes crazy skill to use 100%. Yeah, I may not know exactly what you mean by the combat, like being able to use. I guess I know what you mean. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to perfect the game, maybe, but maybe I am. Who knows? I don't wanna count me out. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right there. 50-50, 50-50. You might be right. But that's a good sign though. That means the game's got depth, you know what I mean? That means the game's got depth. So that's good. That's good. Jump counter. Jumping on counters. I finally got my running back. You already know how much I ran over the weekend, so my body, bro, the day before yesterday and yesterday, because you know I run every day. I run like at least a mile every day, especially like right now because I just ran 33 Saturday. Sunday running was like, it hurt. It not only hurt like my body, but it hurt like respiratory wise. I was so much weaker. And then yesterday was still, I could feel the difference, but it was still weak. And then today I'm pretty much almost back. I'm not only back, but I feel even better. So tomorrow I feel like I'm gonna be back pretty much in full effect, respiratory wise. I'm not gonna start a plan until next week though. I'm gonna start my next running plan next week. It's gonna be Project Speed. It's gonna be Project. It's gonna be Project HAS. See how to think about that acronym. It's gonna be Project HAS. Heart rate and speed. See this thing, I want to hit it first before I do anything else. Okay, that sounded like bro's in my room, dog. All right, Big J. I'm gonna wrap it up here, bro. Is anybody else in here with us, Jay? How many people we got in here right now? Just you? Is just one? You're worth 10, so basically 10. 3 people? Okay, so you and 2 others? Okay. Alright, so really it's like 13 people. You're worth 10 people, so we got 13 people. Okay, cool. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up here. Tomorrow we'll be on. We might be on a little bit earlier tomorrow. But yeah, man, spam up the W streamed in the chat, man. That was a great stream. I appreciate the dialogue. Jay, I just appreciate you being here, bro. It's literally, it really is 23. Okay, so you were 20. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought 10 was a little shy for you. But yeah, man, that was a dope stream today. I appreciate you guys just being here with me. Jay, I appreciate you being here with me, just, rocking with me, man. I really feel like, we live in life together in a way, and, I'm definitely appreciative of that. And show up here every day, and like I said, I'm really appreciative of that. Just, hanging out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, whatever you're doing the rest of the day, make sure you enjoy yourself. Really, I'm with more, but I toned it down. Yeah, I mean, we can't, we can't come off, we gotta have some type of, not humbleness, but, yeah, gotta be some type of humble around the public. It's 3 okay, perfect, yeah, get your Z's. You gotta wake up at 12, 11 or 12. So, yeah, but I appreciate you, big dog. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Everybody else in here, man, I appreciate you. Spam up the W's, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1. Be the soul, be the spirit. Do you have an inner dialogue?